Captain Christopher German here for Conversations at the Helm, and this week's episode we're going to be talking about weekend adventurers. Yeah, we just got off a really cool trip out to the Outer Banks, and we got a special treat to bring up at the end of this episode. You're going to see the little souvenir we got out there in Cape Hatteras. So make sure you stick around the whole episode because we got some great things coming up, and it's all about weekend adventuring. I'm Captain Chris German. Roll the tape! Hey there, lads and ladies, children of all ages. This is Captain Christopher German coming to you for Charted Life Air, and we thank you for flying with us today. We do appreciate all the time that you spend with us while riding Charted Life Air and following Conversations at the Helm. I'll be your captain for the next hour, and we do hope that you will enjoy this semi-adventure that we're taking that is so close to home and absolutely going to be a lot of fun. Now, make sure, if this is a water landing, that you put on your PFD, which was found underneath your seat. Make sure your seat tables and tray tables are in their full upright position. And by all means, if the oxygen deprives the room very quickly, make sure you put your oxygen mask on first and screw your kid. Ha 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 ha. Hey, I'm just kidding with you. We put it on your kid first. What do I care? But this episode is all about weekend adventuring. Now, that is something that Jennifer and I are specializing in these days because we are not exactly the charted lifers ourselves yet, which is to say we are charted lifers, but we don't get to do it on a daily basis. We don't get to do it as often as we'd like to, and we certainly are not full-time liverboards yet, that's our goal, is we want to do the same things that SV Delos are doing and the same things that the Bus Story is doing. The Bus Story, ironically, is actually in Yellowstone National Park, and that is someplace that's on our to-do list to get out to. I'm supposed to be seeing all kinds of good things out west. That's what my wife tells me anyway. And SV Delos is someplace down in the South Atlantic, Namibia, something like that. You can check out all their episodes and find out where they are. We also have Boab, Bums on a Boat, and then there's also, who else do we have? We have the Crabby Captain and the Sunny Sailor. And by the way, guess what? They're someplace down in the Caribbean right now, I believe, but they're coming to a special channel near you because we have just contracted with them to come up with premium videos, which means if you get a membership with us, you can actually see all the outtakes and special cuts and director's cuts and all the stuff that they don't put on YouTube, they're going to be putting on our channel, and you can see it on the Charted Life Television Network if you get a membership. That's coming out very shortly. But let's focus on what this episode's supposed to be on, which is travel. Where do you go on the weekends? What do you do? How do you find yourself wandering around, and where do you like to spend your time? Now, there's a lot of people that say, you know, I got to cut the grass, and I got to go home, and I got to take the kids to soccer practice. And there are those special folks that say, you know what? We're going away this weekend. We're going to go check out things. And the message of this episode, if you take away one thing from this episode, is enjoy your home. Be a tourist in your own hometown. Find out the places that tourists will go to. And there's a reason for that. And we got a couple of videos that are going to talk about that. We've got a wonderful interview with Sushi out in Czechoslovakia, Prague, Czechoslovakia. She called in and we got a 12-minute interview with her, and she's actually been bouncing all over Europe. This is going to inspire you to go and travel around Europe if you haven't got that chance. We also have Gretchen, who is going to be talking about about traveling around New York City and New Haven and how she looked at it from a very different perspective, and she's finding true happiness learning to be the tourist in her hometowns. And then we also have an episode of the trials and tribulations of Captain Chris and Jennifer German as we have wandered around the Outer Banks today. And it was, or not today, but over the past weekend. It was Jennifer's birthday, and we decided we were going to go away for the weekend. And we went out across, and we were going to go over to Ocracoke, but guess what? The ferry was completely booked up, so we didn't get to do that because it was Father's Day. There was no space there. So we drove around, and we went all the way up to Manio and then drove back down. We had to stop off in Rodanthe because we had to say goodbye to a puppy. We actually got to lay our Molly to rest over there in Cape Hatteras, where we also laid my mother to rest. And so we were making our way down Pea Island, and we stopped in Rodanthe, as I said, and then we stopped down in Buxton, where we decided we were going to stay because I found the only place that is going to have any availability with this new passenger ferry they have that goes across from Ocracoke over to Hatteras. All the hotels are booked up. You can't get anything, and the tourist season is phenomenal this year. So the closest we could stay was in Buxton, and we stayed at, what was the name of that hotel? Cape Pines Motel. I keep forgetting that. Cape Pines Motel. A beautiful place, by the way. If you caught any of my live feeds there, it's all hardwood. We got the suite. It was really, really nice. Really lovely. And we went out to the pool, and we were going to take a swim, and we found a surprise out there, which I'm not going to tell you what the surprise is. We'll show you what that surprise is in a little bit. So, what do we have to do today? We have all kinds of things to talk about, and it's going to be the weekend adventurer. I wanted to call them the Weekend Warriors, but Jennifer didn't like the context of Weekend Warriors, so we had to come up with another time. And we're calling them Weekend Adventurers, which is to say your charted life, but your charted life light. You're not allowed, you can't do the whole, I'm going to hop in an Airstream and go travel for 6 months, or hop in my sailboat and sail around the world, and that's not something that everybody can do. But there's still a lot of people that manage to get out and see the world, and they do it from the sticks and bricks life. And so that's what this episode goes out to. It goes out to you folks that decide to travel, that decide to see the world, but also have to go to work on Monday morning. And so that's what this episode is all the way about. And we really, really hope that you're watching and that you'll comment on Facebook. We're running this thing live on Facebook. It's live on YouTube. They haven't shut us down yet. But this happens periodically, as Facebook and YouTube are very temperamental, and they kick us off the air. So if you don't catch us on Facebook or YouTube, you can always catch us on our website at www.thechartedlife.net. It's streaming up there right now, and it's also on Roku, Apple TV, Chromecast TV, Android TV, and Fire Stick TV. So please check it out. If you get knocked off on YouTube or Facebook, check it out online on our website, or go to your local Roku player and pull it up on your television. It's a much better experience. This little chubby pink face looks so much better on television than it does on the tiny little screens of Facebook. So I do hope that you're watching in Roku land, and you're going to comment and send us a message. You can do that at the Charted Life Facebook page. You can also message me by phone number, text messages right now, because I don't have any ringer on. I'm not going to hear you call because I'm on air. I'm talking on this right now. Yeah, this thing. I'm talking on it. So I can't pick up the phone. So you can message me at 252-617-3792. If you want to send me a text message, and just let me know that you're there. I want to know what you people want to talk about and suggest other episodes. As I said on our Facebook post a couple days ago, we have a whole editorial catalog. This week we're talking about weekend adventurers. Next week we're going to be talking about food on the road. And then after that, we are talking about interior decoration for your boats and RVs. And maybe we'll do that one remotely. We'll do it from our sailboat, which is a complete mess right now. And we'll start the old tiny house lifestyle thing that this tiny home, we'll be doing our first episode of that. So it is now 9 minutes past the hour, and I'm wondering what we have coming up next. She gives me this wonderful little clock that I have to watch now. So we have the Weekender video, which is coming up. And that is something that I did today in my little vernacular with my mouth fonts that don't match anybody else here in North Carolina. I voiced that one day. But if you want to, while you're watching that, I want you to think of Jennifer's voice, because she's the one that really wrote that script. And I just voiced it because she had to go to work, and I had the computer today. So, but we're going to alternate. Just imagine my voice is a feminine voice in every other passage, and then you'll really get the full experience of that video. But you're going to see a bunch of photos of what we did this weekend and what we have been doing, and our little attempt to be charted lifers, even if we are sticks and bricks people still. So, without further ado, I'm gonna launch that video, and I'm gonna ask the editor in charge, the grand poobah to my little tiny followerness, the woman that is the woe in my man, the amazing Jennifer German. I'm gonna ask her, would you please, could you please, won't you be my neighbor and fire that video up? Weekends. Many of us spend them mowing the lawn, building a deck, or cleaning out the garage. Those things need to happen, and usually these tasks are about as much fun as getting a root canal or paying taxes. They need to get done, though, and that's why so many of us get caught up in doing them, and that's why we forget to have an adventure. It's also why so many of us want to live full-time on an RV or in a boat, and just so many more dream about it. And why, with these busy lives we live, we forget to live our best life right now, which includes having fun and enjoying life. We think there'll be plenty of time for fun in retirement, or when the kids grow up, or when we lose a few pounds or have a full month of vacation. There's dozens of reasons why people put off having fun in their adult lives, but just because you're not casting off the sticks and bricks life and hitting the road full-time today doesn't mean you can't have an adventure this weekend. Weekends can be just enough time for a quick taste of the mobile life if you remember to take the opportunity to make an adventure. Be a tourist in your own hometown. Go to the museums. Try that new diner everybody's talking about. Go camping locally. Adventures don't have to cost a fortune, but you have to go to have them. We're planning to live the mobile life, splitting time between the boat and the Airstream, but like so many others, we're not quite there yet. Our Airstream Tilly and our sailboat, the Lost Boys, are both in need of some major renovations. They've been hampered by hurricanes, shoulder surgeries, and other pitfalls of life. We'd love to spend every free moment working on it, but instead we all too often find ourselves working towards it, losing the sight of our goal and getting bogged down with life. And that's when we realize that we need to have an adventure. We both love to explore, and we both need to explore, but we don't have to go that far to do it. A ferry ride to Ocracoke with the bikes, camping on the Tanky at Cape Lookout, a road trip to Georgia for Brunswick stew and barbecue, or maybe a weekend in the Smoky Mountains drinking wine. These are all adventures we have taken and what has made us want to live on a permanent vacation, just as Cynthia and Winston Hovey committed to in their tale of mobile lifestyle, There's a Yacht More to Life. We're trying to make life an adventure, but we're not there yet. And that's why we spend our weekends and holidays driving to Jackson Center, Ohio, or sailing to a hidden anchorage on Shackleford Banks. It's a way to keep us sane while we dream of setting sail to St. Somewhere, or waking up on a cold morning in the Rocky Mountains in our Airstream. That's the life we want, and we're not going to wait until retirement to do it either, but we're not there yet either. And that's why we have weekend adventures.
Welcome to Bayside Jeeps in Morehead City, North Carolina. We specialized in well-loved old-school Jeeps, offering regular maintenance to custom bodywork. Want to add some excitement to your ride? We can do it. Ask about our concierge service for regular customers, making it easy to drop off and pick up your Jeep. We are also a North Carolina inspection station and can perform basic oil changes and service on most vehicles. Conveniently located on Arundel Street, Highway 70 East, next to Coral Bay Marina. Visit us at BaysideJeeps.com. Call today to schedule an appointment.
Do you use a generator on a regular basis? Do you have trouble starting it up, pouring the fuel in, getting the thing going? Well, if you do, we have the solution for you. Introducing car generator. That is the car generator which produces the power from your car with the simple hookup of your battery, and it will only use the fuel in your car to get it going. It weighs just 16 pounds, and it is ready to go when you are, whenever you need to have electricity power to your trailer, to your RV, to your camping site, to your home, whatever. If the storms blow, if the floods come, if natural disasters strike, you are ready to go with the car generator. All you do is simply plug it into your car, and as long as your car has gas, you have power on the road and on the go. Don't get caught out in the cold. Call 800-750-4660 and order your car generator today, or go to cargenerator.com and order yours today. And we're back. This is Captain Christopher German coming to you for Conversations at the Helm. And guess what we're talking about this weekend? Our adventures and the weekend adventures we take, because we are weekend travelers. And we're hoping you're a weekend traveler too, because that is a key to happiness. And that's what's coming up very shortly, is a whole story about the Happiness Project. And that is a lawyer up in New York actually studied happiness and how to find it. And she said, you got to get out and do some stuff. And the people that listen to her are the Harley Davidson people. Do you like Harleys? Are you a motorcycle aficionado? Do you like to travel by Harley? It really struck me a couple weeks ago when we were talking with Cynthia and Winston Hovey. And if you haven't checked their book out, there's a Yacht More to Life. There's a whole bunch of little stories in there that really, I think, really edifies the spirit of the charted life. And so check their book out. If you can get it on our webpage, give it on the Odd G shop if you wanted to take a look at that. But they talk about finding happiness. And, you know, this is one of the things that I think is really embodied in certain brands, which is to say Airstream, happiness. Beneteau, happiness. Popcorn, happiness. We actually just had dill pickle popcorn that we bought from Trader Joe's the other day. Trader Joe's, happiness. So it's about the happiness. And Harley Davidson, I think, is one of these things that really it's got a dark connotation to it. And a lot of people think that Harleys are all about guys and, you know, what is it, that show with what are we watching that show on? Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, it's all about Harleys and guns and drugs and, you know, beating your old lady and stuff like that. Well, there's a whole bunch of ladies out there that are hopping on their Harleys on September 6th out of Ohio. The Adventure Harley out of Ohio is sponsoring the Ladies Weekend Adventure. And I thought that was such a great idea. It's a whole bunch of women that are Harley owners or want to be Harley owners. And they all come together and they have a nice big dinner and they go for a long drive together. And they have an entire adventure together as they wander around on the Harley. And that is, I think, the spirit of Harley is, you know, you get out on your bike and you go and just travel, just keep going. You know, it's energy efficient. You know, you're not burning a ton of gas. You just hang out of that thing, lay back, pick the bugs out of your teeth. Hopefully don't crack your skull open on the side of the road and go travel all over the world. That sounds like so much fun, doesn't it? Jennifer's giving me that, well, she doesn't like bugs in her teeth. Well, I can't blame her for that. I'm not a huge fan of bugs in my teeth, especially the spiders. You know, they'll fall off the trees and get, oh, she's going to kill me now. My wife doesn't like spiders. But in any case, it is the Ladies Weekend Adventure out of the Adventure Harley up in Ohio. And I'm going to pull it up on Facebook so I have the exact title for that. But there's a video I thought that really embodied the whole spirit of that. And so I took the liberty of sharing that. And we're going to share it with you. Are we ready to do that video right now? Okay. Jennifer's going to fire that video away right now. And take a look at these ladies and take a look at these Harleys, because this is an impressive event. And I might have a midlife crisis and have to buy a Harley after this piece. But here you go.
Women have been riding motorcycles as long as men. It's this new wave of women, showing women all over the world that you can get on your own bike. You don't have to ride on the back.
I grew up in Northern California. My dad is a motorcycle enthusiast who restores vintage British motorcycles. He gave me a motorcycle of his to ride around the country roads.
Motorcycles wasn't something I was exposed to until I was in my early 20s. I kind of just latched onto it and knew that I wanted that to be something that was a part of my life. Day trips slowly turned into weekend adventures, which turned into cross-country rides.
Adventurous spirit is really sort of encapsulated on a motorcycle. The scenery that you get on those smaller roads that are away from the main highway, to embrace the adventure as it unfolds.
Riding a motorcycle in itself is an act of meditation. You have to be focused, but there's also room to daydream and take in, the scenery and everything that's coming at you. It's a beautiful space to slow down no matter what speed you're going.
You get in touch with the parts of your character or your personality that, don't get a lot of playtime in regular life. Your patience, your adaptability.
It can also give you the opportunity to reflect on yourself and live in the moment. That introspection is priceless.
It's so visceral being on a bike. You're really feeling what you're traveling through. It connects you so much more with the journey because you're not able to close your window against it. You're in it. I love that about traveling on a bike. It's just this amazing feeling of control and power.
My first bike is a Harley, and I say is because it's still the bike that I own and ride all the time. Women have been riding motorcycles as long as men. It's this new wave of women showing women all over the world that you can get on your own bike. You don't have to ride on the back.
And we're back. This is Captain Christopher German with Conversations at the Helm. And before I go too much farther, if you've been tuning in on Facebook right now, let me send a big shout out to Alex, who is tuned in on Facebook. He's actually sailing Rhapsody, and we are going to be adding him to our lineup very shortly. I just got to sit in front of the computer and start tearing down some videos and putting them up there. But Alex has decided he wants to join the Charted Life family. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight, Alex. We do appreciate it, and we're going to make this thing huge, man. We're going to make you into a star, and we're going to make this television channel into a big thing. The other thing I need to talk about right now is the weather, because it is honking outside right now. It's like blowing like 50 out there right now. And my wife says to me just now, if we get a tornado, we're going to go downstairs and pull the cushions off the couch, and we're going to hide in the shower. And she's got this all planned out. This is the woman I live with. She she's got the evacuation plan at all times. Did I tell you she also she has a hammer in the car in each side of the car? She has a traditional hammer on this side, and she has this special duty little pointy thing over here, just in case the car ever goes in the water. She's going to knock the windows out of the car and crack the things and get out. So she's prepared, and I love her for this. She's buttoned down, man. She knows what to do. She's laughing her ass off right now, and I love that. I love to hear this woman laugh. All right, so look at this weather. There is nastiness on the phone right now. So wherever you are, be safe. If it starts honking, I'll understand if you don't watch the show anymore. But if you're in some place that it's not raining and you are not having tornadic stuff happening right now, you better stay watching, because I'm watching out for you. No, thank you for watching, and I appreciate everybody that's out there, especially you, Alex. Thank you for watching, and Jennifer's watching, and I don't know, nobody else has checked in and said that they're watching right now on Facebook, but I do have at least 4 eyes on there right now. Well, actually, 8 eyes on there right now because everybody has 2 eyes, unless one of them's a pirate, and then it could be 5 or maybe 6 or 7. I don't know. But there's, well, maybe you could be listening to this too. Maybe they don't have any eyes. I don't know. Well, you're there anyway. Thank you for participating in this little event that we have now. Conversations at the Helm. I'm Captain Chris German. And what did you think of that Harley video? You know, I don't think we should be giving women a bad rap if they choose to, you know, get on a Harley or get on Yamaha, whatever, you know. Pick your bike, do it. But isn't that a cool weekend? And so I posted it to the Facebook page. It is Ladies Adventure Weekend, and I am pulling it up right now. And it is out of Dover, Ohio, Adventure Weekend, Harley Adventure. I asked them to give me a call, and they didn't. And I was hoping to have an interview for you, but unfortunately, some people you can't even lead them to water because we're trying to help you, get people for this. You had 140 people this year. I was trying to get you to have more people, but you didn't want to participate, so you didn't call me back. So you missed your opportunity. I'm sorry, but I am going to share your event because your event is a great idea, which is let's get a whole bunch of women on Harleys and go travel across the country. And that is the point of the Ladies Adventure Weekend in Dover. This year it is going to be September 6th, I believe, but it's a whole weekend thing. Let's see what they say. I'm going to pull the event up on my computer here. It costs some money, but it's Thursday, September 5th through Saturday, September 7th. Kickoff is at 4 p.m. on the 5th, and it goes all the way until the 7th. And it starts out of our Adventure Harley, 1465 Ohio 39, I guess Route 39, Dover, Ohio 44622. And you can get them on Facebook if you want to find out more information about that. Message them on Facebook, and hopefully they'll respond to you faster than they responded to me. It is $65 now through, early registration ended on February 28th. Now it's regular $75 per person if you want to do this. But you get a full dinner out of it, and you get a lot of fun and a lot of camaraderie on some great bikes. And you have to be 18 or over to be registered. So I don't know if you can join. If you want to bring your kids, maybe that would be fun. Oh, and that talks about the adventure we had this weekend. We saw this guy on a motorcycle, and he had this cute little, maybe Jennifer will get that photo posted up for you, because it was so cool. You should check out her Facebook page. I know she shared it. But it had this little teeny tiny black dog sitting on the back of his hog, and it was in this little carrier thing where he could stick his head out, and that dog's ears were flapping, and he was loving it. And they're taking off down the road, and we drove by him and gave him a big thumbs up. And he was this big, ugly, mean looking guy, and he had a soft little spot in his heart for his dog. So I gotta tip my hat to him. But we saw that in the kickoff of our adventure this weekend as we were heading out of town up to Cape Hatteras. So it is 8:27, and we are coming up on the bottom of the hour. We're not opening the phones tonight, but if you do want to, comment on any of our photos or find out anything, message us on Facebook. You can certainly find that Ladies Adventure thing going on there. It's on the Facebook page. And on the second half of the hour, we've got some really cool things coming up, not least of which Gretchen from the Happiness Project has got a video we're going to take a look at. And then we have Sushi. Oh, the 28 Sushi Rudra. She is over in Prague, Czechoslovakia right now, and she made sure I wasn't allowed to show her face because she didn't do her makeup. I think she's American. Any European woman would say, yeah, and I got hair under my pits too. She wouldn't even let me go on video, so I did not get to put her on video, unfortunately. But it was a really good interview nonetheless, and I really look forward to sharing that with you when we come back from the break. And then we're going to do the Happiness Project, and then the big reveal is going to happen at the end of the hour. So if you want to see what the big reveal is, and it's going to melt your heart, stay tuned till the top of the hour. That's when we're going to show it. Just before the 9 o'clock hour, you're going to see our big surprise, which is really teeny tiny. It's a pound. It weighs 1 pound, and it's a surprise. And it surprised me this morning when she started chewing on my head. But I don't want to give it away. I didn't give it away. No. All right. So, Jennifer, without further ado, would you please play the bottom of the hour commercials, and I'll come back and I'll be much more serious in the second half of the hour. Do you use a generator on a regular basis? Do you have trouble starting it up, pouring the fuel in, getting the thing going? Well, if you do, we have the solution for you. Introducing Car Generator. That is, the car generator which produces the power from your car with the simple hookup of your battery, and it will only use the fuel in your car to get it going. It weighs just 16 pounds, and it is ready to go when you are, whenever you need to have electricity power to your trailer, to your RV, to your camping site, to your home, whatever. If the storms blow, if the floods come, if natural disasters strike, you are ready to go with the Car Generator. All you do is simply plug it into your car, and as long as your car has gas, you have power on the road and on the go. Don't get caught out in the cold. Call 800-750-4660 and order your car generator today, or go to cargenerator.com and order yours today. And we're back. This is Captain Christopher German, and yeah, for Car Generator, yeah! That's my wife in that commercial, by the way, and she is absolutely adorable. But more importantly is, if you want one of those car generators, you would be a fool if you didn't pick one up, because they're 16 pounds, they hook to your car, and you can absolutely never have to pull the pull cord. You don't have to put gas in it ever again. As long as your car has fuel, you've got power for your home, for your RV, for your campsite, whatever. Get yourself a car generator, and you can get it on our Facebook page, on our webpage at the AUG shop. We have a listing for it there. We also have the Hovies book up there, and we've got a bunch of other stuff. If you're looking for a tiny home, we have tiny homes on our Facebook, on our webpage, www.thechartedlife.net. Go to the AUG's shop, and you'll be able to get all that stuff. Now we're coming up on the Sushi Rudra interview. Now, Sushi, I think she's American. I didn't ask her if she was American, but she sounds American. And she has been bobbing around Europe, and she does it on the cheap, and she wrote a whole book, which you can also find on our website. It's only 99 cents. You can download the ebook for your Kindle. I think they'll also print it out for you, but I don't know what the price is on that. But in any case, I should have that name. I don't have the name of that book right now. I'll pull that name up. But in any case, she wrote a book about living cheap while traveling, and she has a... Here, let me pull it up right now. Hold on a sec. Hold on. Don't yell at me. Here we go. She wrote a book. Her blog is Tread Lightly, Travel Naturally. And she wrote an ebook, which is going to be showing up in the video here, I'm sure, at some point. But, you know, the thing is she has managed to find out really affordable ways to see all things in Europe. And if you think Europe's far from the United States, you're wrong. There is a set of islands, which I don't want to give that away, but she's going to talk about how affordable it is to go see certain set of islands off of the European coast. Now, I want you to check that out. I'm not going to say anything else because I'm about to give away all the good punchlines, and my wife keeps yelling at me because I do that. I'm paid to talk for a living. I can't keep secrets. This is what I do. I talk. Okay, so Conversations at the Helm. I'm Captain Christopher German, and you're about to see a woman living in Prague, and she has lived in Lisbon, and she's lived all over the place, and she knows cheap ways to travel Europe. So if you're really thinking about, you know, hitting the bricks and going out and traveling around Europe a little bit, she's got some great resources, not least of which was a post she did up on their 7 ways to save money while traveling. And that was in, that's how I found her, actually. I read that article, and it's not showing up. Where did it go? Pardon? Huffington Post, that's what it was, yes. My wife remembers these things, I don't. Huffington Post, they share a lot of her stuff. She's a regular contributor to Huffington Post. And I do think that you should totally check this out. So, Jennifer, without further ado, would you play it? Well, tell me, how did you get into this kind of work, and what made you decide to start blogging about travel?
Well, so I'm a freelance journalist, and I decided to do the digital nomad thing and kind of just roam around because I could, have all you need is a laptop and Wi-Fi. And I was doing this with my boyfriend, who is also now a freelancer. And I started I was living in Prague at the time for almost 5 years. I met my boyfriend, and then we decided to take off because long Prague winters were getting a bit too much. And I just wanted to get away somewhere with the ocean and sun. So I moved to Lisbon for a few months. And then from there, I think we started kind of moving around every 3 to 6 months. Sometimes we stay in a place for about a year. But then, and so, yeah, I started writing about the places that we traveled to and lived in temporarily, and what we did in those places, and just to help inspire people to see what the possibilities were if someone is considering this kind of lifestyle. And I have an ebook that I eventually wrote about this experience as well.
Well, Phil, give a plug for your book and your blog. Come on, let's get it all out there.
It's called Travel More, Work Less. And it's about, it's not for just becoming a digital nomad. It's about how to maximize where you live if you want to be a digital nomad or not temporarily or for a long time, or if you just want to have more travel involved in your life, So that just gives pointers on those kinds of things.
Aha. Well, where can they get your book? Because the Charted Life, as you know, is all about us trying to get people to go out there and explore and adventure and live their best life, and don't just sit in the cubicle at home and pine to go away somewhere. Do it, and that's what your book's all about. Is you don't have to be wealthy to do this. You can do it on a budget. So. Certainly we want to read your book, but we also want to hear your side.
Yeah, exactly. It's right now, it's an ebook. So right now you can get it on Amazon, Kindle, or I could also, if someone emails me, I can also, send them a PDF as well. So.
Well, we'll be sure to put all your contact information up there when we post this thing.
Great.
But so tell me, what are some of the cooler places you've gotten to see, and how do you do it on a budget?
So there's so many places that I've been to. I mean, yeah, that's always a hard question to answer. I think one of the first places that comes to mind is the Azores Islands, which is they call it the European Hawaii. It's kind of in the middle of the Atlantic. There's 9 islands, Portuguese-owned territory. It's mind-blowing, the gorgeous landscapes. It's very remote, so I don't know if you want to stay there too long, but Airbnb is now obviously a popular option for accommodation, but for more of a budget option, I think there's couchsurfing that's super budget, and then which is free, basically. But then you also have Workaway as a resource. I've used it quite a few times, and I think it's a really, really great option for people who have that time. You're basically committing 5 hours a day for 5 days a week to volunteers to help someone, the host, with a project that they have going. It could be renovating a farmhouse, or painting murals in a school in a village somewhere in Sri Lanka. I don't know. So you then in turn get free accommodation and food for as long as you are staying and helping them with that project. And so it's a really great way to get to know a location, because you can travel on the weekends or in your off time when you're not working on the project, and you get to know all these international people who are traveling as well, volunteering with you, living in the same place. So it's a really, really fascinating experience.
Well, I guess another question I would have for you then is we have this thing here in the United States where you can actually take your RV and go work at camps and stuff like that and get your accommodations
Okay.
and stay there. Do you have any of that going on over there in Europe, where people are just doing the RV thing and wandering around and working place to place to place?
Yeah, definitely. We had, I mean, in one of the places I did a workaway, it was in a tiny village in Bulgaria, kind of central Bulgaria, I think, northern central Bulgaria, and Australia, and they had a small camper van that I guess they purchased in Europe. I don't think they brought it from Australia. I don't know, maybe that's possible. But they stayed in the village and they were doing the work away but sleeping in their camper van, which had the host was totally fine with them, parking it on the property. So and they were helping there. So they were going around doing different workaways that way in Europe.
Really?
So.
Well, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back to the Azores for a sec. How did you get out to the Azores?
So it's actually really easy to get there, and I don't know if many people know this, but it's only 4 hours from Boston, and it's super cheap. Like you can get there for like $250 one way, I think.
Really?
And from London, London and Lisbon also, it's like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max. Also like super cheap. They have Azores Airlines, and TAP Portugal will go. New York and Boston have a couple of flights, like United, Delta, maybe, I'm not sure. But and then if you land in the largest town, the airport it's in the largest island is São Miguel, and the largest town there is Ponta Delgada. So that's the airport you will land into, and you just start from there, and you can move around like by boat, which is perfect for your audience, or you can take a short little flight between the islands. So.
Well, that is awesome. Well, what other cool places have you seen over there in Europe? Because we're largely, I can't say we're focused here in the United States. We are focused in the world travel, but we're learning, there's this thing going on all over the world where people want to get out and see and do, and they don't want to be locked into the sticks and bricks lifestyle. So give us more excitement. Come on. Don't hold back.
Sticks and bricks. I mean, I can talk about all the big cities I've been to, but honestly, I usually prefer smaller locations. Right now I'm based in Prague, which is, it's still a decent sized city, but for me, it's almost like a blend of city and village lifestyle. Like within the city, it's like super green, like a huge amount of urban green spaces. Wonderful for hiking, and lots of parks, enormous parks and natural reserves. And then 20 minutes by train or car, even you can bike, which is really popular here. You will find tons of hiking trails. I mean, there's a huge, amazing network in not only Czech Republic, but in Slovakia as well. A lot of mountains in Slovakia, especially. Bicycling is super popular. It's very well put together routes and network around Germany, Austria, Czech Republic, Slovenia, Slovakia. So I'm more oriented toward I guess the nature adventure in Europe and smaller places. I don't know. I would just say I always recommend people to go kind of out of the main touristy places that that are usually recommended in the guidebooks. So and also because that will you off season as well, and then also a smaller town. That's where it's better for your budget as well.
Totally. Well, and there's a point to be made too. You're kind of smack dab in the middle of all the cool things in the world over there in Europe. But we also want to point out that there's a huge amount of resources where you don't have to necessarily go fly to strange places, but check out your local areas there. And I imagine Prague is a target-rich zone, so to speak, with weekend travel. But what aspects of your travel have been just kind of exploring your local area around you?
So yeah, like I said, there are, plenty of buses that will take you. You actually can, if you have the Prague City Transport Pass, you can actually get to just going even to the limit of your pass, which means you're not paying for a ticket on a bus or the train even, which is 15, 20 minutes from the center. You will find incredible little villages and it's the suburbs, but it looks like you're in a village in the middle of nowhere, and there's hiking trails and forests and fields. And I just did that the other day. I took a bus not even 30 minutes from the center, and I mean, it's like you're in the middle of nothing. Like it's beautiful, peaceful. You can go hiking, mountain biking. You can pick, fruits and berries and those kinds of things. It's like really relaxed. Which is another thing I wanted to talk about was that it's really great for a digital detox if you are working online or if you're online a lot for blogging or whatever purposes. It's just like an incredible way to just get away and like rejuvenate, and then you come back and you're ready to get back at it.
Yeah, well, the digital, we actually just got off of a trip we took over to Ocracoke here in the U.S. This weekend. We wandered over to the Outer Banks, and there's a bunch of affordable things like that where we could just hop a ferry and go from one island to the other and whatnot. And quite frankly, the cell phone reception sucked out there, so that was our own little digital detox, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
exactly.
how much of you obviously you're tied into the digital world all the time. How much of your weekends are about digital detoxing?
Well, the thing is, I usually try not to be on the computer during the weekends. But also the way my freelancing work is, and the great thing about being your own boss as a freelancer is that I can make my weekend a Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I might be working on Saturday, Sunday. It just kind of depends on deadlines and projects that are more urgent than others, whatever your clients need. So yeah, I mean, I sometimes I can go hiking on a Tuesday and then hiking on a Friday, but then I'll work the rest of the days, and like I can work less hours, than 8 hours a day. So my weekends are kind of they shift around. My time off shifts around.
Well, and that's kind of the mobile lifestyle I think we're really trying to get into with people is you work for yourself and you have to have the discipline to show up and go to work every day, but at the same time you can make your own hours and you can enjoy your own life. And I think that's the point of this lifestyle is being able to live life to live it, not just to work. Your
Exactly. I 100% agree. Yeah.
Well, I have taken enough of your time, I think. Do one more time. Suji, give me your book title again and your website again, and let's make sure everybody is going to find you over in Prague, because I think we're going to send a whole bunch of people over here to just hunt you down because you make it sound amazing over there.
It is amazing. I invite everyone to come. It is, okay, so my name is Suchi Rudra, and my blog is treadlightlytravelnaturally.com. And my ebook is available on Amazon. It's Travel More, Work Less.
Well, we're going to put a link up to your book onto our website, and we're certainly going to be showing this all over Facebook and YouTube, and we'll certainly try to link your blog everywhere we can. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit of the European world with us. Hopefully we've inspired some people to take a weekend adventure. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Welcome to Bayside Jeeps in Morehead City, North Carolina. We specialized in well-loved old-school Jeeps, offering regular maintenance to custom bodywork. Want to add some excitement to your ride? We can do it. Ask about our concierge service for regular customers, making it easy to drop off and pick up your Jeep. We are also a North Carolina inspection station and can perform basic oil changes and service on most vehicles. Conveniently located on Arundel Street, Highway 70 East, next to Coral Bay Marina. Visit us at BaysideJeeps.com. Call today to schedule an appointment.
Hey, welcome to Alaska Local Music. I'm here. I'm Lance here with Chris Talley.
How's it going, Lance?
What's going on?
What are you into? And he's like, I'm actually a rapper. And I was like, oh snap, that's dope because
Yeah, I've seen that on Facebook.
I guess.
It's great to have someone that supports you and be behind you.
Oh yeah. Yep, exactly.
Do you use a generator on a regular basis? Do you have trouble starting it up, pouring the fuel in, getting the thing going? Well, if you do, we have the solution for you. Introducing Car Generator. That is, the car generator which produces the power from your car with the simple hookup of your battery, and it will only use the fuel in your car to get it going. It weighs just 16 pounds, and it is ready to go when you are, whenever you need to have electricity power to your trailer, to your RV, to your camping site, to your home, whatever. If the storms blow, if the floods come, if natural disasters strike, you are ready to go with the Car Generator. All you do is simply plug it into your car, and as long as your car has gas, you have power on the road and on the go. Don't get caught out in the cold. Call 800-750-4660 and order your Car Generator today, or go to cargenerator.com and order yours today. And we're back. This is Captain Christopher German with the Conversations at the Helm on the Charted Life Television Network. And we're coming up on the end of the show, and we got a couple of things left to show you. So thank you so much for tuning in. Penny DeMayo down there in sunny Mexico. What are you doing down there, lady? Thank you for checking in. And, of course, Alex, you're, I think you're still in there. If you are, thank you so much for continuing to watch. And we can't wait to have you to be part of the Charted Life Television family. So, what we have coming up next is about happiness. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you... No? I got the from the wife over there now. I'm sorry. Okay. Happiness Project. Yes. Gretchen. What is Gretchen's last name, Jennifer? Gretchen Rubin. She's an attorney from New York City. She grew up in New York. She went to school at Yale. And she has been studying the art of happiness and how to achieve true happiness in lifestyle. So without further ado, we're going to run the Happiness Project video. And I think it'll teach you a little bit of something about having fun on the weekends and how to enjoy your life.
My name is Gretchen Rubin, and this is the Happiness Project. The resolution for this week is to be a tourist in your own city. And the idea of this is that being a tourist is really a state of mind, because tourists read up, they learn, they notice everything, they're adventuresome, they're interested, they're curious, they're really noticing things. And I realized that when I was walking around my city, I live in New York City, I barely noticed anything. I was lost in my own thoughts, I was stuck in my routine, and I needed to be a tourist in New York City, because I live in New York City. People come from all over the world to come here, and I haven't even been to the top of the Empire State Building. So I decided I was going to be a tourist in New York City. And I also have done this in other cities. I did it with New Haven. I went back to New Haven, and I was a tourist of New Haven and saw it in a different way and took pictures and retraced my own history there as a law student. And I found it enormously satisfying to act like a tourist in a place that was really very familiar to me. Now, one thing that I was able to do, because my hometown is New York City, is I was able to be a tourist in New York City in an unusual way. I've always had a very strange reaction to New Yorker covers. They give me a strange sense of nostalgia or a bittersweet emotion. Even when I was young, even when I was growing up in Kansas City, I always got this feeling from New Yorker covers. I've always been fascinated by them. So I bought this book, and I just would spend hours looking at these old pictures of New Yorker covers. And it gave me this very strange sense of New York City. And it really helped me be a tourist in New York City and to feel the presence of New York City in a new way. And it doesn't matter where you live. My grandparents are from North Platte, Nebraska, and I'm sure I could be a tourist in North Platte, Nebraska the next time I go back there. So the resolution for this week is to be a tourist in your own city. And the thought for this week comes from Gertrude Stein, who said that anything anyone does every day is important and imposing. And anywhere one lives is interesting and beautiful.
Yes, so what'd you think of Gretchen there? This is Captain Christopher German with Conversations at the Helm, and that was Gretchen Rubin, who is author of The Happiness Project. She lives up there in New York City, and I don't know how anybody can be happy in New York City, but she's up there, and she's enjoying it up there, apparently, so she's happy. And she's telling us, if you're going to be happy, you got to get out and you got to do some weekend traveling. So that's the assignment for the week. I told you, you have to do it, okay? Go somewhere next weekend. Go explore. That's what we're asking you to do with this show. Now, I was talking earlier about the cool dog on the back of the motorcycle. This kind of wraps it all up. Take a look at this picture. It is I don't even know what kind of bike it was. I'm not actually going to get to see the photo so you guys can see it. But is this not the coolest dog ever? And he's on a really cool bike. There it is. Yeah, the dog just chilling out there, just smelling the guy's helmet, and he's having a grand old time. I'm not a particular fan of the color of the motorcycle, but at the same time, that dog is so cool, isn't it? I want a dog like that can ride. My fat dog will never, ever, ever be able to stay on the back of a bike, ever. And I'm also kind of too chicken to drive a motorcycle, so there's that. I got a hair problem going on right now. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So, we're coming to the end of the show, and I promised you that there would be a surprise. Well, guess what the surprise is? We were traveling up through Cape Hatteras this weekend, and when we got to the hotel, we heard a kitten, and we didn't really think about it. A bunch of people were paying attention to it. We weren't paying attention to it. We went to dinner, came back. We were going to put on our swimsuits, and we're going to go out and take a swim in the pool, and we still heard this kitten. So, and I'm going to say that's Connecticut kitten. Everywhere else it's kitten. And Connecticut it's a kitten. We had a kitten out there. And so we went to find this kitten. And sure enough, it was 1 pound of joy. And we tried to find its owner, and nobody was owned. It was completely infested with fleas. And so guess what? We are now the proud parents of a 6-week-old kitten named Hattie Creef German. I also call her Mouse because she got these giant ears, huge ears, and she looks like a mouse. It's got a tiny little tail, and she's absolutely the sweetest little love. And we have a little video of that we want to show you. So without further ado, roll the tape. And we're back. Is she not the cutest little thing ever? And especially at 5 o'clock in the morning when she decides to start playing hockey with your head, she's the sweetest little thing ever, and you really can't be mad at her. But that's our new little girl, Hattie Creef German, and she's named after the Hattie Creef, which was the vessel that took people out to the Outer Banks prior to the Bonner Bridge being built and all that kind of stuff. So we named her after that. My father did a painting of that. I'm getting the old watch ticker I have to get ready to go. So this week, we do hope you've enjoyed the show. We do hope you'll tune in every Thursday night, and make sure you tune in on Sunday night. If you missed any part of this episode, it will be rebroadcast Sunday night. Thank you, Alex, for tuning in. Thank you for Penny for tuning in. Thank you for everybody else that's going to be tuning in and seeing this as it goes again, and we do appreciate all that. Make sure you message us. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Give us some show ideas, because we're totally looking to serve you. You're our viewer. You're the ones we care about. info@thechartedlife.net. For Conversations at the Helm, I'm Captain Christopher German on the Charted Life Television Network. Happy Thursday. Enjoy your weekend ahead.
Let's get away from it all. Let's take a trip and a trailer. No need to come back at all. Let's take a powder for Boston or Chowder, and let's get away from it all.